sometimes we get caught up in those camps, and sometimes they start to feud, like all the apologetics, all of the debaters. Sometimes there's a lot of heat on them, like on Jay and David Erhan and David Patrick Harry, and Andrew Wilson's getting all the heat now too. And I think it's a little unfair, because I know, like, that was an entry point for me, a lot of that stuff, and I kind of needed that, and I still do. I really appreciate watching those debates. They really kind of give you tools when you're in a conversation with someone, who may disagree for whatever reason. It also makes me think, why am I in this faith? Like, why am I Orthodox? Like, why did I go back to it? Am I in it for the right reasons? Like, or is it just, whatever? So I think it's kind of unfair that they get a lot of heat. I kind of get it to some degree. Not that I agree with them, but I understand if someone doesn't know their intent, why they would go after them. Like, how do you guys feel about that sort of dogpiling? It feels like.
Yeah, when you put yourself out there, you're always going to have detractors and people maybe misunderstanding what you're saying, or just straight up not agreeing with it, or what have you. And like you said, I kind of understand why some people are rubbed the wrong way by some of their personalities. But I also don't agree with the people who try to, I guess, like the phrase is like virtue signaling, when they try to tell them, hey, you're being a big fat meanie and stuff like that. And like, I guess I understand the sentiment, because they can't be really abrasive for sure, but that almost comes with the territory that they're in. Like, they're in an arena. It's I think the Crucible, they call their channel like blood sport, like philosophical blood sports or something like that. So, and those guys can take it too. Like, I think they like it. So, that's their thing. But anyway, Mark, you had something.
Yeah, no. I think Jay, I think there's a place for all that. I think there's definitely, because these different camps and different ways of reaching people, I mean, that's what the world needs, is like all these different personalities that can tap into and relate to other personalities that are specific to what they've been through in their own journey. And I think Jay definitely has a place. I mean, he has a huge place he's probably the best. I've never seen anyone debate at the level he debates at. Like, it's just, and the people he has to deal with, I kind of understand why he may come off the way he comes off sometimes, because I mean, some of the people he's dealing with are unbearable. Lord have mercy. Like, I mean, some of the people that come at him, like, I mean, and the things he has to just repetitively over and over and over. And he actually has a lot of patience. If you really sit there and watch, he actually is showcasing a lot of patience, and gets pushed and pushed and pushed. And these people, there's a lot of passive aggressive people that are playing manipulative games, and he calls them out, and he doesn't let them do that. And I think that's why people get mad, because they get called out on their, I'm trying not to curse here, but yeah, they get called out on, what.
Absolutely. And like, that's the thing I love about him, is he won't let you off the hook. Because like, I see other people debating in other subjects, and they'll let the other person off the hook, but he won't put up with the silliness. And I think that you guys are right. That is what jars people and gets them upset, especially when he's asking you to define your terms and you're just not doing it. To be honest, I don't know how he does it. I would lose my, as you said, the stuff, right? Like, even in my personal life, Manny has seen me in conversations where you're being gaslit, and I lose it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm not good at keeping my temper, but I lose it. I don't know how Jay keeps calm. Like, he does a great job of like, I guess you would say it's a form of combat in defense of what we believe in. And you know what? He makes me question myself often, and I really appreciate that. So like, big shout out to Jay, David Patrick Harry, Andrew Wilson, all those cats. They're out there doing something important. I think, as much as they get criticized for it, I think they're doing something important.
Yeah, they play like a good role in like a kind of like masculine orthodoxy. Like you said, it's like combat. It's a very masculine way to go about it. It's argumentative, it's disagreeable, it's trying to find what's true. If I ended up like knowing a girl who was interested in orthodoxy, I might not tell her to watch like a 4-hour argument with Jay Dyer. But like for a young man who's interested in it, who's trying to seek truth and wants to have like a rigorous, logical, defensible position, like, that's exactly who I'd send him to. Absolutely. So he plays like an indispensable role, and he's the best at what he does, and he just destroys in debates. Obviously, he's definitely the best in his little section for sure.
Absolutely. And like some of the other guys, like I think you guys made a lot of good points there, where like each camp has its place, and it's connecting with a certain type of individual. Like some people that are more into that stuff would go in that direction. Some people that are like I know a lot of my audience in the past were more like punks, so obviously like, you know, showing them death to the world kind of open up a lot of questions for people. And then there's like the more scholarly types. I mean, you guys mentioned Peugeot, incredible thinker. I love like the philosophical approach that he takes. And there's also like the Seraphim Hamilton.
Oh man,
man, I get lost. I'm like, how do you keep that? I don't know. Like I have to listen to his podcast 10 times. Like each episode I have to kind of like continuously listen to it over and over again. And his whole like young earth approach, now he's moving in that direction of young earth. And I'm like, I walked into it going, nah, come on, no way. And then he got me thinking. I'm like, okay, maybe I got to revisit this too. it's like orthodoxy's dismantling all my belief systems at once.
Yeah. Seraphim Hamilton's amazing, man. I mean, I don't know any. That's just another level. Like, and in terms of going back to David Patrick Harry, I mean, that was something that brought me into Holy Orthodoxy, because just his whole background in New Age, like he had a whole New Age channel that was like super prominent, and he gave all that up to do Church of the Eternal Logos. And it was an episode with your mate Tom that actually brought me, like, that just struck me after I'd come out of a huge psychedelic ceremony, and he was coming out of a ayahuasca ceremony, and it just, something really clicked in that moment. I was like, man, this is exactly what happened to me, and it's obviously demonic. And it's not just me that sees it. It's like, this is definitely demonic. And, you know, so thank God for David Patrick Harry as well. Shout out to him and Kotel.
Absolutely. Kotel's often mentioned, top 3 always. Yeah. Shout out to Dave.
Yeah, he's a great dude, and it's relatable. Yeah, coming from, like you said, like coming from the New Age stuff and being heavily into psychedelics, it was really relatable. He was a really cool guy. We hung out with him when we went to Montanica. He's super personable. Nice. Patrick's a great dude. He's definitely a homie for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, and I like his approach too. It differs. It's kind of like in between a Jay Dyer and a Seraphim Hamilton. He kind of like brings complicated issues. So if Dave ever watches this, he takes really complicated issues and subjects and simplifies it so that we can all kind of, you know, I'm an idiot, so like I need that, right? And he really brings it down to like a way where it's but he's also not super soft. Like he'll kind of like speak in a way like kind of, come on guys, get your shit sorry, my apologies, get your stuff together, you know what I'm saying? I'm new at this, I still swear.